So welcome to the garage, the shop, the desk, the workbench. Today I thought we would swap the wheels on a nice little 69 Dodge Charger 500. I don't know, maybe a couple of you know this, but there's a difference between the Dodge Charger and the Dodge Charger 500. It's not a lot, but check your bottoms. So we're gonna put on some deep dish 5-spoke wheels, and it's really easy. Essentially, just get your needle nose pliers, and what you want to do is grab that plastic wheel by the lip with your needle nose. Get these out of the way, and then I use my Weller soldering iron. Just put it on the head of the axle, put it on the hub, and basically melt the wheel off. Now you just have the axle. Wheel's gone. Super simple way to do it. Make sure you're wearing a mask. Don't breathe in the plastic smoke, obviously. And now you've got no wheels. What do I want to Dodge with no wheels for? So anyways, now you got to do is go back in there. It's got the little hubs on the axles. Go back in there and cut that little hub off. I think it's like 48 degrees. It's freezing. My hands don't want to work very good. So now you've got the body, the wheels are out, you've got your axles, right? So we're just gonna take the replacement kick-ass wheels, and we're gonna go ahead and cut the hub off. And then what I do is I use the axle from the car, the one that I just took out. I put it back in here, right? And then just slide it in. Now what you want to do is you want to get your finger out of the video. Now what you want to do is size your axle. Just cut it down. You don't want it to stick through the wheel and be all weird. So I stick my dikes in there. Usually a good starting point is just behind the fender well. You obviously don't want the axle sticking out in front of the fender well, right? So get a good size. And then what you want to do is make sure, just test fit it. It's really simple. Put the wheel on. I like to run mine real tight so that there's no slop. And then see where the axle is. Got this one pretty close. Axle's not poking through horribly. So there's the rear. And then the same thing in the front. Cut the hub off. Take this axle out. And I just do this because I want to do it, but it's a good starting point to use the car's axles if you can. And I always do everything from the passenger side. So stuff that axle back in there. I just pull it out, clip it behind the fender well, eyeball it. I've done quite a few of these, so kind of know. Test fit my front wheel. Make sure the axle's not sticking through too far. So now I know my axles fit. They're the right length. I use the Gorilla Glue gel. It's the green top. Makes things easy. You got to keep the top of your glue clean. All right, so pull these off. We'll do one at a time. And what I do is just a very small, hopefully my glue will work right. Yep, very small dab on that axle. Hopefully you guys can see it. Anyways, very small dab on that axle. And then take the wheel and run it onto the axle. It's already test fit, so we don't have to worry about it. And then I just run it back and forth to get that glue in there, in between, right? Sorry about the sniffles, it's cold. And then I push the head hub on the other side through. Now I've got a nice clean wheel on both sides. And do the same thing, rinse and repeat. You know, do the same thing on the back. So we've got our axle sized already. a little dab will do you. Like seriously, a little dab will do you. And then same thing, drop the wheel on, wiggle it back and forth, get that glue between the axle and the wheel. You don't want the glue between the axle and the car. All right, now you're good to go. Now set that down and wait a little while. And what you want to do is you want the glue to set between the wheel and the axle. It's also going to set between the axle and the car, but not to worry. Just give it a little roll and you'll actually feel the glue give away on the axle and the car. You just let it sit, give it, you know, good 30, 40 seconds, and then give it a wiggle and you'll feel it break free, and bam, you'll have yourself a nice little Dodge. You can get both the car and the wheels on the website, so make sure and hit munclemikes.com and get the goodies and start doing this. It's addictive, to say the least. All right, guys.